Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the WTF1 podcast, Singapore Grand Prix edition. Hello, Tommy and Jess.
Hello.
What's your names? Even though I don't know why I just said your names. You have to do it.
I'm Jess.
I genuinely feel like we've been away for like 20 weeks and we've forgotten how to do podcasts.
And what's your name?
Jess.
No, he said. You missed. Did not hear that.
What did you say?
I'm Jess.
Oh, I'm Tommy.
And I'm Matt. There's no one else to do that with.
Great.
So yeah, Singapore Grand Prix. Let's talk about it. What a fantastically different.
What a fantastically
race,
Monaco race.
Yeah.
What?
It's like Monaco with the whole
Slow.
let's drive really slowly and then chaos in the
Snails.
first pit stop.
Yeah, absolute chaos.
More action than Monaco, though. Just saying.
I mean, literally turning off your television, that's more action than Monaco, doesn't it? Moving on before Tommy kills me. So 3-word race reviews from some fans. We've got the Swedish baller says, I was asleep, which I completely disagree with. Corridor Fra _ Justice for Canada. Grand Prix _ Sundays, Layla. Valtteri, it's James. And Kieran Hargata, Giovanazzi's Glory Hour. Or more like Glory 4 laps. What did you read that particular 3-word race review as, Jess? No, don't worry about it. But yeah, an interesting selection of 3-word race reviews. The first one, not something I agree with at all. I was asleep, and fair enough.
Good race.
Yeah, there wasn't. It was weird, obviously, seeing them go around at 13 seconds a lap slower than what they did in qualifying. But at the same time, it was almost like a horse race. You know, like the Grand National. The Grand National, they don't go full pelt for 40 furlongs, however long it is. Yeah. I don't know if that's true. It could be 2 furlongs. Don't know how long a furlong is. But
furlongs.
Yeah,
You say furlongs anymore.
They're long as furlongs. But I actually enjoyed the sort of the anticipation.
Yeah, I think Alex Albon in an interview said it was like a marathon, and everyone's going to say, you know, oh, we need F1 cars to go as fast as possible, but if you sprint at the start of a marathon, you're going to be screwed for the rest of the race, aren't you? Say.
Yeah, but I was sat there going, why don't someone just catch them off guard?
Yeah,
turn everything up 4 seconds lap quicker, go for it. And I think there was a couple of occasions where I think Verstappen came under pressure from Bottas a little bit and that sort of stuff. But it was interesting. I didn't like it for as long as it was, because it was almost 40 laps of just let's chill. You know, and then when when Crofty said about Charles, they've turned it up to race mode. Oh, he's done a 48.3. And we were like, that's not quick. That's not quick either.
Well, Russell was setting fastest laps, wasn't he? He was the quickest guy on track for a lot of the time, which kind of sums it up.
It sums it up. It was very weird to see so many midfield teams getting fastest lap, and then you had Hulkenberg pitting, and he got fastest lap, and yeah, obviously it didn't end that way. We did get midfield team get fastest lap at the end as well, didn't we? Kevin Magnussen.
Yeah.
K-Mag. The king of Singapore, the lion of Singapore, but for fastest laps, not for wins. What else we got? We got Justice for Canada. Obviously, that's kind of going, I guess, yeah, Vettel always says he won Canada, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he finally won Singapore on merit. We'll talk about strategy very shortly, I'm sure. Valtteri, it's James. We'll
go into that.
We'll dive into that. And then Giovanazzi's Gloria, which we probably won't dive into, but great to see Antonio heading the field for a good 3 or 4 laps.
I mean, is it?
Sure. Tommy, your 3-word race review.
I thought it was fun. I enjoyed the novelty of a midfield car leading.
Yeah, but that happens...
No, it doesn't.
Well...
Happens week in week... Oh, no, it doesn't. No. When was the last time we saw
a midfielder leading?
Germany, but that was a bit different, wasn't it?
Well, it's still nice to see.
It's nice to see.
It warms the heart.
All right. But I guess it's just like, it's a non-starter, right? Because... You know, as soon as they pit, they're not going to be there anymore.
You just hope for a red flag. And then Giovinazzi wins the race.
I saw Arava say, Arava put that on Twitter. Red flag the race now.
Imagine.
Right, Tommy, 3-word race review.
Mission Why Now?
Now I like that. That's one of my favourite 3-word race reviews.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
You've done some thought to that.
So mainly just Ferrari's pace. I will admit that I was one of the people that said this, that absolutely no chance Ferrari were going to be anywhere. They struggled massively in Hungary. Which is a similar track. We all knew they were going to be good at Spa and Monza, but for them to deliver that in Singapore, completely different track, and not dominate, but get a pole and a 1-2.
I mean,
amazing.
Yeah, on paper, it's a domination, and I think we'll look at the predictions a bit later on. But I mean, we were all very, very far off, and I think most people were. Even Ferrari themselves kind of wrote themselves off, thinking, "Oh, hopefully, if we get a podium, it'll be a great result." But
interestingly, they did bring. I didn't see anybody else really do much in terms of like changing their aero package, but Ferrari brought a new aero package this weekend.
Yeah, they finally nailed their high downforce
They actually
upgrade.
applied downforce to
Their
the
new
car.
their new nostrils, which they added to the front wing.
Yeah, it was something under the front wing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Little
so
capes in between.
yeah, so like they've got the little thumb nose, and there's like you call it a thumb nose, you call it whatever you like, thumb, and then there's two little winglets underneath. They make like little nostrils.
Oh,
and that's
the
helped
changer.
them.
That's it.
That has helped them find downforce.
Wow.
To do well. But my mission why now is actually in reference to the fact that it's all a little bit too late with Mercedes with such a huge lead in the championship. I mean, they're so far ahead. And we've had now, I'm trying to think, so since back to Germany, Mercedes have only won one race, despite winning all the races at the start of the season. And it's a bit of a shame that we don't have that title fight. Personally, I'm really enjoying the races, and I'm sure everyone else is as well. But it would have been cool to have had this for the whole season. I'm sure everyone can agree.
Now you say that, you've got a stat about how the title would look.
Yes,
so
I have.
please
So
do
I'll
share.
put this on the gram later, make a little graphic for it. But I worked out what the championship would look like based on the last 5 races. So if we take the first 5 races, which obviously is where Mercedes got a 1-2 in all 5 of them. Hamilton had 112, Bottas 105, Verstappen 66, Vettel 64, Leclerc 57. But the last 5 races, it's been Leclerc would be leading the championship on 80.
Carry on.
Hamilton second on 73, Vettel third on 71, Verstappen on 64, and Bottas on 47. But yeah, so just over a third place separating the top 4 in the title.
If it was from the
last 5 races.
Last 5.
What a title that would be.
But unfortunately, as you say, they left it
But it's not.
very, very, very late. Mercedes wrapped it up before the first half of the season was even over, which is not something you usually see very much at all. I mean, obviously, you kind of look back to Michael Schumacher's Ferrari and sort of like 2004 and that sort of stuff. That was kind of the domination that we saw this year. We've got a question from Dennis Anubis. It says, can Ferrari somehow still win the Constructors' Championship? Mathematically, absolutely. But we were sat down and trying to work out some maths, which probably a little bit hazy, but we worked out that if Ferrari was to get a 1-2 in every single race and Mercedes 3-4, they still wouldn't win the title. They have to outscore Mercedes by 20 points every single race.
Well, Mercedes got 4th and 5th, so, and, it's not...
Jess still believes. That's basically what we're saying here.
There's always a chance. I guess, because it goes to what you're saying. Like, everybody wrote off this season because of the dominance of Mercedes at the beginning. And yes, okay, it's unlikely that they're going to get surpassed in the constructors or the drivers, really. But anything could statistically happen, right?
As Murray Walker once said,
And it probably will.
And it probably will. But yeah, I guess just don't write it off totally, but also maybe just enjoy the fight back, because the fight back almost could be as exciting as maybe not as exciting as an overtake, but do you know what I mean? Like, it's still good to see how this season's evolved, I guess.
And we were kind of looking as well a little bit about what if, as a lot of F1 fans do, what if this, what if that. But we were looking at sort of Charles' obviously resurgence of the last few races, but also looking back at Baku where he crashed in qualifying and Germany where he crashed. Could have come home with 18 points and he finished with none. And then you've got Bahrain where he finished, was it third? No, he finished third, so another 10 points lost there. So it's interesting to look back at it and think, okay, Ferrari, were they really that slow or were they just tripping over themselves? And that's where you kind of think there's quite a lot of points that they've left on the table.
I think we've spoken about it before as well, but they having a completely new team, new way of working, that takes time to bed in and for everyone to feel comfortable. They had new driver. It takes a while to bed in, and some teams take to it really easily and it's all smooth sailing, and others take a little longer. And I think that's probably Ferrari have found what works now, and kind of goes to show Vettel looked a lot more comfortable in that Ferrari, and it was still a little twitchy in places, but way, way better putting in moves that we hadn't seen him do in previous Grand Prix. So again, like, it's just taken them a while to find their feet, which is just unfortunate for the season overall, but good to see that now, hopefully, that's going to continue.
Gives us hope for 2020.
You could see that hunger as well, couldn't you? From
Yeah,
Vettel. When he
100%.
took the lead, he was not relinquishing that at all. Right, let's go to my 3-word race review. Right but wrong. and now that's to do with the Ferrari strategy. The strategy call that they did where obviously Vettel qualified third, was stuck behind Hamilton at the beginning of the race. Charles was, obviously we've spoken about snailing around, and it was just a Singapore train. And then Ferrari, as far as I understand from Vettel, saying that they pretty much called him in at the very last second when they saw that Hamilton carried on. Vettel then pit. And one out lap was all he needed to take the lead, not to take just Hamilton, but to take the lead of the race. Charles then pits the lap later. Hamilton stays on until next year for some reason. We're all, all of us, on the couches going, "Oh, come on, you're not pitting," and Mercedes, they have no idea. But and then Leclerc came out, and he was not a happy bunny, which I can understand. And the reason why I put right but wrong is that watching it, I'm like, oh my God, Ferrari, what have you done? But when you actually look at all the facts and the fact that firstly they didn't know that the undercut was going to be that strong.
That strong, yeah.
And also the fact that Verstappen pit behind Vettel, so they had to protect from Verstappen, and in fact ended up fighting and taking the lead from it. So I feel like there wasn't any sort of wrongdoing in the sense of Ferrari allowing that strategy to happen, because that's exactly what Vettel needed to at least keep position and then overtake Hamilton, and they got a 1-2. So
they turned a 1-2 into that would have been a 1-4, 1-3, maybe a 1-4 if they hadn't have done it. It's just unfortunate for Charles that he lost out by being good at qualifying. That's
the thing, that's the weird thing, is that Vettel got the preferential strategy from being out qualified by his teammate, being behind his teammate, being under pressure, then getting the strategy. And I think that's where the wrong bit is that you kind of feel that Charles was almost robbed in a sense, because he was managing the race out in front. He wasn't. Yeah,
but I think Ferrari, that people seem to think that Ferrari did that because for some reason they still see that Vettel's the number one driver, which
I don't think that.
I don't think is the case at all. They were covering Verstappen, and also it's worth noting that Mercedes did another dummy pit stop during that. You could see them out in the pits during that moment.
When are they going to get a slap wrist for that?
Yeah.
Well, they also, because Hamilton was back on the radio again saying, "Let's go for the undercut," and then it was then Charles went into the pits. I don't know if that was directly because of that. I would doubt it was directly, but they were playing mind games again, and they were trying to get Ferrari to pit.
Maybe it's hilarious karma for them just constantly doing dummy pit stops. They kept doing it and then went, "Oh, we probably should have actually pitted there because we would have won the race instead of finishing fourth and fifth."
Well, it was strange, and I guess we'll come onto this a little bit later when we talk about Mercedes. But it was strange that they didn't at least pit one of their drivers. They didn't pit either of them.
Yeah, I can't believe that. I can't believe no one decided. Even someone like Albon thought it's worth a punt, coming in quite early, putting on hard tyres and...
but I can see exactly why they didn't, because of the pace that they had done. So if Albon had pitted, he would have come out in like 16th place and he would have been stuck in traffic and would have not got any gain whatsoever. We saw how difficult it was for Vettel and Leclerc, well maybe not Vettel, but Leclerc, to get through Lance Stroll and those guys a little bit later on. But they were just forced into their hand. The only person I am surprised that didn't pit was Hamilton, because Hamilton was in the same window as Vettel. Hamilton's asking to pit. Why has Mercedes not just gone, all right, let's go with the instincts of a five-time world champion that has made strategy calls to win the race before? And that was another one of his where he's going, I can win the race, let's do that. I don't know what their reasoning was.
I mean, I think, which was quite surprising that we didn't get any safety cars in the first half of the race at all.
I know, I thought it was going to be a Singapore Grand Prix for the first time ever.
Well, they were saying...
Especially after they put that graphic out there.
Yeah. What was the stat? It's like 100%...
17 safety cars in 11 years. Excluding this race.
Yeah, and they've all come early. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them have come early on. So I think everybody is kind of... When you know that it's a race where you're going to get safety cars, then your pit strategy kind of gets a bit... You're waiting and hoping and praying that it's going to come, and that... Because you don't want to be that team that gets caught out having pitted the lap before the safety car, and you've lost all that advantage. But, just...
Part of it as well is it's a dangerous game. The game they played with Leclerc, he left himself vulnerable to the undercut. And while I've seen a lot of people say Vettel is lucky and didn't deserve it at all, I do not agree with that. And I would say he deserved that victory. I think it's worth, because I've not seen this really anywhere, to be honest, other than Corinne Chandok posted this on Twitter, so shout out to him. Vettel's outlap after he pitted was so good that it even surprised Ferrari. That's part of it. It's not them going, giving Vettel the preferential treatment. The middle sector of everyone coming out of the pit. So Hamilton did a 41.6, Bottas did a 41.5, Leclerc did a 41.4, Verstappen did a 41.3, and Vettel did a 40.9.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then Vettel was 0.3 quicker than Leclerc and Verstappen in the final sector as well. So his outlap was
So that's comparing new tyres to new tyres. That's
everyone's outlap.
Yeah.
Vettel just put in an
lap of his life.
unbelievable lap of the lap of his life to win that race.
Yeah.
So you can't say he got that strategy. He had it in his hands of if you pull out this lap, you can win the race, and he did. So fair play to him.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that both of them deserve to win the race in many aspects. You know, Charles was managing the race, and then Vettel was. And I guess that's maybe where Charles' almost inexperience maybe comes in. Maybe he could have pushed that extra few tenths, not really thinking that Vettel would be someone to undercut him, because I guess that's the trust that you have in the team is the strategy.
You're not
going to
get undercut by your own teammate.
Yeah. And I think that's something that also they were reviewing Ferrari, is whether or not that was the right decision to do in terms of not switching them because of Vettel getting that advantage, because then you look at the Mercedes team where Bottas was literally told to stop. But let's go on to the 3-word race review. Actually, no, you had an Insta poll before we do that. Did you want to get that?
Yeah, it was just the question about who.
Was it right? Was it wrong?
Was it right or was it wrong? And it was about 78% of people said it was fair for them to pit Vettel because they were covering Verstappen and Hamilton.
But also, just the last little point I was hoping to make about the Ferrari strategy is, it's what they needed. Don't forget they've got two drivers, and Vettel has been absolutely pulverized in the media and by fans and by other people, just saying, you're over, you're going to retire, you're going to leave, you're going to go back to Red Bull, like all this stuff. They've got two drivers, and whilst I agree with everything that you guys just said, I don't think Ferrari necessarily planned to put Vettel in front of Leclerc. In terms of a long-term strategy and what that's going to do for Vettel's psychological well-being, it's going to be huge.
Absolutely.
He needed that win.
It's going to get spicy now as well, because
he needed that win.
They barely even looked at each other.
They didn't even shake hands, did they?
Shake hands.
They embraced after they got that car.
Did they?
The car. Yeah, they embraced. They hugged.
Did you see the really awkward moment where Vettel went, Charles, you lost.
You lost weight.
And then he went, and you could tell Leclerc was like, excuse me? You lost weight? It's like really awkward.
Yeah, it was really weird. That was in the cool down room.
Yeah.
I must have missed
bit
that.
strange.
Yeah, it's funny.
Right, let's talk about Mercedes. Jess,
Yeah, so my three-word race review.
Oh,
God.
It's been a while.
My three-word race review is Wingman is back.
He is. Can't.
Yes. What do you mean by that, Jess?
Well, as we kind of briefly touched on, I forget what lap it was, but essentially because Mercedes left themselves completely wide open by not pitting Hamilton specifically, they needed Bottas to back up the rest of the field so that Hamilton had a gap, so that when he came out, he wasn't in traffic and he had some space to breathe and try and catch back up. So he played the team game. I think he was doing a 145 point.
He'd just set fastest lap. I think it was a 0.7.
Yeah, 0.7, and they asked him to do a 148.8, which, as I think David Coulthard pointed out in the commentary, he's like, you might as well not use top gear. Like, you have to just cruise.
Well, that's back to snail pace.
Yeah,
from what
that's the thing for me, and it's something that we were chatting about when we were doing this podcast sheet. Was you've heard team orders where you've had, Bottas might have been racing him out the pits and said, look, Hamilton's going to be vulnerable to Albon. Can you back him up a little bit? But go 3 seconds a lap slower. That is extreme.
We're completely and utterly crucifying your race.
Yeah.
To salvage something from this, because currently we're not going to have anything.
Which there was nothing really to salvage.
Well, it could have been worse.
Well, Hamilton, I guess, like Ferrari, they were thinking of the team game, because Hamilton would have
lost the position to Albon
because their strategy was so bad.
I genuinely have no idea what they were doing with Hamilton. They've obviously stayed out, and you kind of understand on a normal track the overcut sometimes works. You know, you can have fresh tyres towards the end of the race, but you just get stuck in Singapore. So I don't know why they didn't think, okay, we need to come in now because we're losing time every single lap we stay out there. Apart from praying for a safety car, that's the only thing that I can think that they were they were doing.
Yeah, genuinely, because like DRS wasn't working, you know, it wasn't giving anyone an advantage. You saw, like, even in the closing stages where Hamilton was kind of putting pressure on Verstappen, he couldn't get anywhere, really. Like, he couldn't get close enough out of the DRS zones into the braking zones to do anything about it. So, yeah, like, I mean, again, they seem to favour trying to maintain track position, but by not pitting, they lost track position.
Yeah, track position is key. It's like Monaco.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so weird. It was such a weird call. And the fact they didn't even leave him out so he'd have so much fresher tyres at the end or try something completely different.
Yeah.
And
it was just like 7 laps later. It wasn't that much of an alternate strategy. It was just a time waste. They've clearly gone, okay, we've messed up here.
We've messed up. Yeah,
now we have to make the call to Bottas and again, like another unhappy driver. But it's very strange. Wayfen Pilgrim says, why are Mercedes favouring Hamilton with the strategy even when there is no threat from the other teams winning the World Drivers' Championship?
I'm not
sure. Bottas is a wingman.
Well, again, I think it's, again, as we spoke about with Ferrari, they were trying to salvage something from the race. I don't think they were necessarily favouring Hamilton, but that was probably their only way to at least get
Block Albon.
something.
Block Albon. Yeah.
So
it was like Ferrari, it's getting a 4.5 instead of a 4.6.
But yeah, I found that this team order was a lot more savage, a lot more get in your place and block Albon. You know, obviously with Vettel and Leclerc, there was that kind of misunderstanding with the undercut and stuff, and I felt like it was genuinely an honest call from Ferrari, whereas Mercedes, they've acted on the fact that they can do this with Bottas.
Yeah. But you know, we've had it with McLaren at Monaco. Norris wasn't really going to do anything with his race, so he held up the field so Sainz could get better points position. So it's not uncommon. Everybody gets annoyed about it because I guess Bottas is
in the World Championship.
Second in the World Championship. Not for long.
Challenge, but yeah, it's just one of those things, really. It's a team game.
Yeah. What made me laugh though is that Bottas turned up to Singapore in his like "To Whom It May Concern" t-shirt, and he's like giving it Barry.
The amount
Barry
of
Big
people
Balls.
that tagged me in that and said this is directed at you. I was like, Bottas doesn't even know who I am.
Barry Big Balls or Billy Big Balls?
Billy
Big Balls.
Not Barry.
Oh,
you say Barry?
Yeah, why not? Why not go Barry Big
Who's
Balls?
Barry?
Billy Big
He's got
Balls.
bigger balls. Yeah, just him doing that, and then it's been a race where he's got the "It's James" call again. Yikes!
Yeah, I know. Of all the calls to make as well, they're just trying to make
they're
memes.
Playing that.
Mercedes want some memes.
Their Twitter guy's going to be trying to make that Valtteri "It's James" meme die again.
Yes, well, that's the thing. Like, they're like, "Oh, stop posting about it," and then they make Valtteri "It's James" slow down by 3 seconds a lap. I just love how it was. Can you do a 48.8 or whatever it was? This is race critical. You need to save the tyres. The guy's just pit. He's got fresh tyres.
Save your fresh tyres when you're setting best lap.
Mad. Anyway, you got an Insta poll for that as well, Tommy?
Yeah, that was about 80% said that was not cool, Mercedes.
But again, like, what else were they going to do?
Yeah.
Do they just relinquish the position, or do they just see what they can do? Oh,
here we
what's
go.
going on here then?
Hello.
Audio listeners can hear the rustling.
Yeah. What is it?
The George rustling.
The George rustling.
Right, now before we dive into WTF1, which is obviously a lot of people's favourite part of the show, I'd like to tell you a little bit about our wonderful sponsor for this video, Harry's, which is this wonderful kit here. Tommy, do you want to be my
What
model?
is this?
This is the bag. Open up the bag. It's got all sorts of clever ingredients in there. So, Tommy, we were actually going to get you to try this product out, but it seems that your beard growing cells have been replaced by your F1 knowledge cells.
I think that's fair.
Or you've been using this for 30 odd years.
I've never seen a razor. What is it?
I'd actually love to see you with a full-grown beard. That would be...
I think Tommy would too.
Yeah. When's the next race?
Now,
I think maybe by 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You'll have your first hair.
Yeah.
Now, if you haven't heard of Harry's before, it was started by 2 ordinary guys, Jeff and Andy, who were fed up with overpriced razors and wanted to fix shaving. So what they go and do is buy their own factory, as you do. We just got out of the room. They bought their own factory to save the shaving world as we know it. What absolute legends. The guys take far less profit and put more money into creating the best product possible and at almost half the price of the leading 5-blade brand. The Harry's trial set, which is the thing that Tommy's currently playing with now, comes with everything you need for a close, comfortable shave, providing you're able to grow a beard, Tommy.
Yeah.
I mean, you can try it. I don't know what it would do, but now I'm going to try my best advertising voice. So this is our first ad read
Do you want to hold
done
it?
On the podcast. Sure.
I appreciate the WTF1 colours
God,
as
it
well.
feels so good. Right, I'm going to do my best advertising voice, okay? And I think that, if we ever do this again, you guys have to do it.
Okay.
Harry's trial set includes everything you need for a close, comfortable shave. Weighted, it is actually pretty nicely weighted, ergonomic handle, 5 precision-engineered blades with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel.
Lathering?
Lathering. Lather. Yeah, that's definitely right.
Definitely lather.
I can tell I do not use that word in my
Lathering shave gel.
travel blade cover. That's it. Travel blade cover. Can you? You put my advertising voice.
I love the way you just snapped out.
I was like,
voice.
travel blade cover. We wouldn't be doing this advertisement if there wasn't something to offer you guys as well. So you can get started shaving if you can grow a beard, unlike Tommy, by claiming your trial set for £3.95, and this helps to support the WTF1 podcast and get your trial set delivered to you, including a razor handle, 5-blade cartridge, foaming shave gel, and travel blade cover by going to harrys.com/WTF1 right now. That's harrys.com/WTF1. So yeah, this is
well done.
to help support the podcast, and hope you guys enjoyed that.
Support me getting a laptop back.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. This is literally for your laptop is just over.
It's record
it's
for
underneath
the
the table
record
right now.
My laptop, we use it to record. It's not that I don't have a laptop. I just
Good.
happen to use it.
Yeah, otherwise what would you be doing all day?
Yeah, exactly.
Sponsors like Harry's help the WTF1 world go round, so we can do podcasts like this. So please do go check them out.
Check them out.
And we're going to now continue. I'm going to put this away before I start shaving.
Just put it down there. All right.
Lovely. Beautiful. Right. Now it's time for ABCDF1. Where's the jingle, Tommy? You're supposed to be...
No,
God, you're never ready for it. Tommy, you have the jingle ready?
Yeah, took me a while.
Go on then.
Now it's time for ABCDF1.
I love that little meow at the end as well. Right, let's dive into ABCDEF1. Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton.
B.
I love how I just... Hello? Is anybody there?
Yeah, it's like, we're doing this, right? We're doing the podcast. B.
B, yes, B. Valtteri Bottas. Yeah, okay.
C.
He's a team player, but
Wingman...
he wasn't really
C,
anyway.
he played the
Did you hear, in quali, he complained that Lewis impeded his...
Oh, he called him a effing S-head.
Did he?
Yeah, on the radio.
Oh, I didn't hear
Did you not
that.
hear that?
Oh, my God.
I can't believe...
So he
didn't even
showed
think
so
about
much
that.
fire in qualifying and then was like...
And then was
Don't worry
like,
about it.
this is your best chance of a world championship, and will you go to slow down for 3 seconds to help your title rival and get a better result? Yeah, sure.
What else is he going to do, though?
Butler. Yeah, oh yeah.
Beat
In
him.
his fairness.
Beat him.
C.
C.
Ferrari, Sebastian Vettel.
A.
A, very, very good. Charles Leclerc.
A.
Yeah, fair enough. I think you can't really separate the two, can you?
No.
Both had
Both good
pretty
drives for
stunning
different
drives.
reasons.
They did what they had to do, and they got the 1-2. Oh, that was a little poem.
You didn't even do that deliberately.
The
Wow.
genuine excitement on your face. That's, oh my God.
It's been
I
a long,
can
I have
rhyme.
done
been
this.
a long day.
Red Bull, Max Verstappen.
A.
Oh, of course you would go for an A, wouldn't you?
Oh, fanboy.
I think
No, I think he deserves it was a decent
Yeah.
drive. Red Bull would know where.
Their car was not good around here, which was unexpected.
Surprising.
But we did everything
It was surprising. I thought Verstappen had a pretty decent chance, hence why I predicted it. But clearly not. Thanks, Max. But A, because did they ever say why they had those issues? Did they ever sort of diagnose it?
I don't know. I guess they weren't hugely strong around Monaco.
Sorry, just trying to knock off into the
But
mic.
they were really good around Hungary because Max got pole, so difficult.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
the answer is
I don't know.
no.
The answer is
We'll just
no.
pose the question.
Maybe Mercedes and Ferrari just got faster.
Wow. Okay, thanks.
I thought there was like a surprising lack of interview with Horner on the coverage. Was there any
Yeah.
on Sky?
No, they normally interview him all the time.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
What a strange opportunity to not interview him and be like, "Yo, why you not
Yo,
winning?"
going on?
Wagwan with the car
I mean,
there,
that's-
This
man.
is your chance.
Right, A for Max, Alex Albon. I'm going to say a C.
Yeah, see.
See,
Just
He's-
kind of lacking pace a little bit. Not as bad
Yeah.
as Gasly, but he's still very much P6.
he had a
Yeah.
a twitchy moment towards the end as well, where he ran off, didn't he? He went wide.
When
I
was
don't
that?
remember that.
I can't remember what corner it was, but people.
I've got a cough. Carry on.
Yeah, he just it wasn't his best race. I think we were saying before, like we're waiting for that race where he's gonna shine.
Yeah.
Fine. And he shined a bit in Spa,
Yeah,
to
he
be
did.
fair to him. But
It's been a difficult
pace-wise,
time for him to shine when the car like we said, weirdly wasn't suited to Singapore, but also Monza
Spa and
and
Monza.
Spa are their sort of difficult kind of throwaway tracks that they don't really perform on.
And Helmut Marko's come out saying that it is between him and Gasly for the 2020 seat.
I think Albon's got it.
Yeah.
I mean, Gasly, which we'll get onto, he's performing a bit better now, obviously, with Toro Rosso. But Renault, Daniel Ricciardo.
Strange. He had a crazy qualifying, didn't he? Because he got disqualified for
Going 0.0001 second faster with the engine.
the
going.
MGUK.
You want some more power? Well, I'll give you it, but it might be illegal.
But for like a fraction of a second.
And it didn't even help him.
And it wasn't
No.
even on a lap that he was going faster on. It's the tiniest little blip.
It's crazy that they can pick that up, though. They're like, what's that? What's that line? That's gone over the line.
Yeah.
Disqualify him.
It's weird though, isn't it? Like considering the things that go on where they don't get disqualified.
I'd like to think that an alarm went off in the steward's office when that happened.
It's like the SpongeBob meme, like we're all just running around fire, like, ah.
Yeah.
But I guess rules is rules.
Yes, exactly.
Them the rules.
Yes, Daniel said C.
C?
But
Yeah,
I
I'd
want to
say
give him a B for entertainment purposes, but I'll allow
He was
a C.
the only one entertaining at the start.
He
wasn't
was
But
the only one doing overtakes.
Couple of questionable overtakes.
Yeah.
Weren't there?
I think he was very unfortunate on the one that he did on Giovinazzi, where he just got a bit of a swap. It was a good move. Like it wasn't a Kvyat Raikkonen turn one, but it was just that little swapper, wham, goodbye, and that was it.
That was it.
Wham.
Nick Hulkenberg, he also had a whammy, didn't he?
He did.
In the
Right
side,
at the beginning.
right in the
Be
old
slightly ambitious to go up the inside
of that corner as well.
corner, yeah.
It was, I think, because Carlos was taking a swooping outside line, wasn't he? He was trying to get a good run onto the straight, and
Guess
Nico
he was
was like,
hoping that Carlos would see him, but they just
they
did
touched,
not.
and Lando was like, "Oh,
Thank you very much.
thank you so much."
Thank you, Carlos.
So Nico, we're going to give a C. 'Cause it was a decent drive.
Yeah.
He got up to a points from last.
did.
Does that deserve a B?
From last? No.
Yeah, because he was back to last when he had to pit.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was, yeah.
oh,
But he was very much helped by
Recovery.
Leclerc
By Leclerc.
backing the entire field up. So, C.
Oh, okay, all right, fine, whatever. Don't care. Haas, Romain Grosjean.
Oh,
F.
God.
F, get in the bin.
I mean, what a race for him to get re-signed. It was his chance to help with the whole, everyone's on my back here on social media.
Yeah,
Let's be
everyone,
honest.
yeah.
Everyone on social media was
Like, why is
very,
it not Hulk?
why is not Hulk? This guy's rubbish. And then
Because he's 50p a year, Grosjean.
Yeah.
I reckon.
And then you race.
But in
your-
comparison to what Hulkenberg's probably
Yeah.
asking for.
£5. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, racing against a Williams, then crashing into a Williams.
Poor old George Russell, just minding his
Yeah.
own business. Oh,
Yeah.
side by side with a car. That's not something I'm used to this
Yeah.
season.
Oh, wait, it's Grosjean. Into the
Yeah.
wall.
It was a very ambitious move, wasn't it?
You actually saw, wasn't it? Was it Ricardo or Hulkenberg that backed out of a move because it was Grosjean?
Wow.
Hulkenberg, I think it was.
I think it was Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
He backed out and
He was
was
like,
like,
actually, you know what? Rear end of a donkey, that one. But yeah, Grosjean, I don't know what. You have to think that Haas only re-signed him because one, he has experience, two, probably quite good at setting up the car and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and three, he's cheap.
Netflix.
And four, Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Cannot
But-
wait for season 2. What a series that is. Kevin Magnussen.
actually had considering again, like Haas had no pace.
You got no pace.
He
Yeah.
got no pace. He was in a good position.
Yeah, he was running
where
up,
did he
but then
finish?
a plastic bag got caught in his front wing.
Oh God, really? Is that what happened?
Like what was it, a sandwich bag or a
A
big
plastic bag. It wasn't a bag for life. It was a plastic bag, and it got caught in his front wing, and he had to pit. And he was
Unreal.
running in the points.
How does... that's so bad.
So
He
lucky.
has really bad luck. He's had some really bad luck this season.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
he's doing all right to say that the Haas is terrible.
It's an absolute
to be
dog of a
fair.
car,
It's
isn't it?
Awful. They're slipping to like Williams.
It's the most
territory now.
inconsistent car.
Yeah.
To think that they're... And again, Australia, we're like, wow, Haas have turned up. Lovely. And then they just don't... They just seem to
Yeah.
always fall away. It's
Yeah.
very strange.
It's a worrying time for him as well. Obviously, like we've not even mentioned the fact that Rich Energy have finally gone. We won't
See ya.
get too much into it, but yeah, it's not looking good for them.
No, because
They were meant to be this
need some
Ferrari.
moolah.
They were meant to be this Ferrari B team as well, which is now Alpha. They've lost their title sponsor. They've signed Grosjean. It's getting bad.
Savage from Tommy.
You got to think, though, because they'll be slipping down the Constructors' standings as well, I imagine. I
Yeah.
can't think of... They're obviously above Williams. Who else are
Yeah.
there above?
I think that's it.
Let's get the constructors standings up. But in terms of that, my thoughts behind that was that obviously constructors winnings at the end of the season will be huge for someone like Haas.
Ooh,
They're
yeah.
Where are they?
So they're ninth.
They're ninth, so only above Williams.
Yeah.
How many points have they got?
10 points.
They've got 26 and Alpha have 35.
Right. So and it looks like Alpha are looking pretty consistent at least as
and they're
as a
improving.
midfield.
Seem to be like improving.
At least
a bit.
one driver usually gets points
Yeah.
for Alpha.
Yeah. Well,
Can't see Haas finishing anything other than ninth.
And considering they were competing for
Fourth place one year when they
last
had
year.
the when they were just last year's Ferrari.
yeah.
you have to wonder how long they'll stick around, how long they're able to stick
Yeah.
around with
I mean
everything
that might
pulling
be
out, so.
that might be the crux of why they signed Grosjean again because they just genuinely can't afford to do anything else.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know how much sponsorship Grosjean brings as well. That's obviously another factor that
Does he
not
bring
many
any?
people see. Don't know. Netflix, yes, Netflix sponsor Grosjean. Just drive really badly and we'll continue to sponsor
So
you.
what have we given Magnussen? We've gone on a tangent.
Yes,
I think we should give him a B.
Let's give him a B
Okay.
because plastic bags, and all
for
that good
bag.
stuff. I guess we just kind of have to quickly mention before we carry on, like the actual midfield was ridiculous in the race.
Yeah.
It genuinely was mad. Like there were so many overtakes, especially after the safety cars. I know Martin Brundle said about the whole safety cars breeding more safety cars, which was just caused this explosion of dive bombs, and I quite enjoyed it.
There was a moment where I think it was Magnussen, Stroll, and Kvyat, and you're like, that's a trio that is going to end badly.
Did
and
it?
they did all right, but it was surprising because there was some risky moves. People were like going for lunges and backing out. It was awesome.
Yes, it was quite
well,
enjoyable to
rather
watch,
good.
wasn't it? Yes. I did actually think after the third safety car, I was like, there's going to be another one. Every time I was just like, someone's going to crash.
Yeah.
Someone's going to crash. And we actually almost went a whole race without one, which was mad. But hey-ho, let's carry on. McLaren, Carlos Sainz.
That was an unfortunate. Like his race was pretty much over from the get go.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't. He came into the pits and they couldn't jack the car up after his first collision with Hulkenberg.
And there was a very funny video on Twitter of the guy trying to jack the car up and being literally pulled up by the jack. Because I don't know, that must have been a fault, or I don't know, or he didn't put it in properly. Oh, that sounds bad. But either way, it was just quite funny to watch. So if you haven't seen it, I think it's one of the McLaren engineers that just gets flown by the jack. Not badly, just.
And he's a big guy too.
Whee! Yeah, he is. He's stacked. And he's like, oh, I should go to the gym more.
I would have
like,
literally just flung, like it'd been like
Oh my
a
God.
catapult.
It'd be like that meme where you just go flying.
Disappear into the sun.
Oh my God.
So Carlos, we're going to give.
I don't know. Like
See.
He must have sustained some damage as well from
Yeah.
that.
He did. He
home.
McLaren mentioned to him on the radio that they had aero damage.
Yeah,
so
so let's just give him a C.
C.
Lando Norris, A.
A, yeah.
Great drive.
Really
Really
good
good.
drive.
He
Really
was my
like
driver of the day.
was he?
Who was driver of the day?
Vettel.
Driver of the day.
Vettel.
Shock.
That's a
Yeah.
huge-
Lando, really good drive. Not a kind of drive that you'd expect from a more sort of experienced driver.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He just
He's almost like
solid.
and this isn't meant to sound bad, but like a Hulkenberg. Whenever Hulkenberg gets into seventh, he just
He's there.
stays there,
Yeah.
and you just don't see
Steady
anything else.
seven.
Happen. Yeah, and Lando's the same thing. It just seems like he can just get his head in the zone. He, because he says in interviews afterwards, it looked boring, I guess, from a TV's perspective, but I'm still managing a million things and blah 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 blah. It's like a spaceship, but Lando's very good at just bridging the gap when there's not there's issues with strategy. If he gets caught up in the field, I think he does struggle a bit more with overtaking potentially. But
Did you see he cut his race suit?
yeah, I
You see
saw
that?
the interview with his knee,
He
was
had
it, or his
a
leg.
cut in his race suit because of the bumps and him turning
keep
and it
hitting into
keeps
the steering
hitting
wheel,
the
wasn't
bump and it literally cut a hole in his overalls.
It's mad, isn't it? Like, I don't. That must actually bruise his legs, I imagine.
Yeah.
But
It's a bit of Singapore is always known as that crazy
bumpy.
race.
Well, they all come out like absolutely sweating, don't they? Like,
Apart from
it's
Lando, who literally looked like he'd just gone for a Sunday walk.
Bless him, he was so hard on himself in qualifying as well,
Yeah,
apparently.
it's like, I was an idiot.
yeah.
Yeah, his Instagram post was like, "I'm stupid."
It's all the young drivers, aren't they? They're all so self-critical. You got
Yeah.
Charles, that's just like, I'm stupid. Lando,
Charles.
I'm an idiot.
Charles.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see this different side where usually it's like, yeah, we'll need the team or whatever.
Yeah.
But these
Well,
guys are just
I
like,
guess Max is the opposite, is the only exception to that rule where he never blames himself.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a stubborn man, isn't he? Racing Point, Sergio Perez. Well,
mean-
Racing Point in general just had a
Terrible.
I think
dreadful weekend.
Yeah.
They were doing really well, and then
It all just went tits up, didn't it?
C for Perez.
yeah.
Steve Perez, yeah, and Lance Stroll.
C as well.
Oh, I thought he did. I thought Stroll did particularly well.
Where did he finish in the end?
Well, because he had he got a puncture, didn't he?
Yeah.
Him and who did he hit?
I can't remember.
So many.
All I remember is the commentary team
He
not
finished-
picking up on the fact that he had a puncture.
He finished 13th,
Yeah, but he had a puncture.
But he had a puncture and pitted.
but he was in the points.
He
when
was running
He
late.
did 3 stops.
Yeah, he did 3 stops.
Oh, mad.
3 stops and 13th.
See,
Okay.
See,
Alfa Romeo,
Yeah.
Kimi Raikkonen.
Bit of a struggle.
He was getting beaten by his teammate.
Yeah.
Got
He seemed
absolutely
a bit-
punted.
a bit anonymous.
He
Really.
got torpedoed
I
by the
didn't- got
torpedo.
torpedoed.
Yeah, didn't even notice he was in the race until Kvyat just decided to say, "Hey,
It was a weird
yeah,
sort of lackluster performance from Kimi.
They
I
only
think.
picked up on him when he was like really struggling with tyres and everyone was just passing him, and then he got torpedoed. So
D.
D.
yeah,
Yeah.
not great." Really.
Antonio Giovinazzi. Now, I want to give this man a B. He was leading the race. He dominated for 4 laps. It has to be said. You know, at some points you were hoping for a red flag. You know, just to.
He dominated for
He
4
was
laps.
dominating. The man was out in front. Came on board. There was no
Looking like
no
a veteran.
nerves. He looked.
Yeah.
Oh god. I mean, the way he defended the lead was beautiful, wasn't it? Broke 400.
defending that
metres
lead
from
from
the
the hard charging Pierre Gasly in a Toro Rosso.
Was I watching a different race?
All you saw was Antonio leading.
It's a bit of a shame for him. I don't know how it would have worked out in the end, but everyone was like, "Oh, imagine a safety car now." And then he pitted, and I'm sure it was only a couple of laps until the safety car came
yeah.
out. You know, he could have got some big
Hefty
big
points.
points.
Big boy
Big
points.
But
points.
he did get a post-race penalty, didn't he? Because he
Did.
drove too close to Marshall's.
Yeah, which was actually quite close from what
Yeah,
But
there's a picture.
considering that they didn't call a safety car
for
out
so long.
Yeah.
for Russell.
In several occasions.
Yeah. Well, the Russell one particularly, because there was an F1 driver on track getting out of a car without a helmet on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And cars were just going straight past him.
Double waved yellows. That's not going to save it. Like what? It was
Yeah,
very
it was
odd, and
very weird.
it's almost like they've gone old school. They're like, black and white flag coming back, no VSC. I mean, what's the point in ever throwing that? That's literally the
Have
reason.
we had a VSC? Yeah, we have had VSCs.
Yeah, but not in Singapore, which
we don't have
you'd
one in
imagine
Singapore, which
they see a
Yeah.
car stopped on track, instant VSC in my eyes, but
Yeah.
yeah,
very odd. So
Right.
Giovinazzi, can we give him a B?
Let's give him
yeah,
a B.
let's give him a B.
Okay, Toro Rosso, Daniel Kvyat.
Not a good race for him.
No.
Torpedo got a little bit aggressive. I say a little bit, very.
He didn't seem to have the pace of Gasly. I know Gasly started on the hards and had a different strategy, but Kvyat just seemed a bit clumsy and not
Yeah.
really anywhere.
Back
I mean,
to his old
didn't he have a
self
couple of
little
moves
bit.
that were pretty all right? Like he landed them and they,
Yeah.
they were okay.
He landed them
Get the old like
full on.
7.
Yeah, and then unfortunately it ended in tears. So you can't give him anything more than a D, can you? Really? For it's got to be an E, maybe an F.
No, okay, that's
That's
a
a
bit
bit
harsh.
harsh. I think
He absolutely kamikazed Kimi Raikkonen.
Yeah.
I guess
and
if we gave
he
Grosjean
came
an
back
F,
from way back, didn't
Way back into turn 1
Yeah.
that
Way,
isn't
way
that
back.
slow of a corner.
it's not really a braking zone much.
I mean, it's
It's not.
Medium
It's not
brake.
a heavy braking zone
Half,
that you go
medium.
for a lunch.
medium rare.
Half a braking zone.
we? We come up with our own.
Yeah, medium rare breaking point.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
I think maybe
E?
a D.
D,
No,
E?
D. I'll go for
D.
D.
Who have we given a D?
We don't ever keep track of who
No.
we've given.
Someone does, though. Shout out to that person
Oh, yeah.
who has created a table and a half.
I need to shut.
Go on, you
shut
go
him
get
out.
the handle
Yeah.
whilst we turn our attention to Pierre Gasly. B.
B.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Decent race from him. Looking
Hell of
very
a
much
drive.
settled in Toro Rosso. I don't know what it is about that team that just makes him perform much better. But
Car, probably.
TuneFix2 on Twitter posted an unbelievable graphic. where
Olympic table.
a proper table
Who's
full
winning?
of.
Depends which league you're talking about.
Yes.
Every league.
So this is up to the Italian Grand Prix standings. Verstappen, Hamilton, Russell, Leclerc, Sainz is
Russell.
the order.
P3. Nice. Let's have a look quickly.
The,
Let's have a look at
there
this.
goes. There's like the
So
average.
your
So you've got
average-
averages. So who's average to D? Who's bottom? Grosjean probably.
Bottom is Pierre Gasly,
Oh, bless
which
him.
doesn't surprise me.
Because, yeah, he's...
Because of his Red Bull.
Giovinazzi was 19th on the average, but I think he's going to move himself up with that cheeky B.
Grosjean's going to go down.
Yeah, so you've got average of that. Then you've got an Olympic table where Charles Leclerc is winning with 3 A stars. If that closes one more time, I swear to God, I'm going to throw your phone, Tommy. But yeah, it's great to see. Thank you so much for both the effort on this and the predictions as well. There's a table for
Thank
that.
you.
Love it. Okay, Williams, George Russell. C.
C.
Yeah.
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 Really expected him to outqualify a midfield car, or really,
Did you?
show
Oh,
something.
we'll dive into that in your
Yeah,
predictions.
we will
won't we?
do. But let me down.
Robert Kubica.
Oh God.
He put up a fight.
He put a good move on K-Mag.
I know your thoughts on.
Well,
that.
it's not. No, it's just a shame. Like it's just a shame. I just think.
It's kind of almost like pity a little bit when you
It's
see.
disappointing
what a
that.
horrible position to be in. Like
Yeah.
he's a driver that doesn't deserve pity.
No.
Yeah.
His
So-
talent, especially in
exactly.
obviously his first stage of his career, was unbelievable. But it's still an amazing achievement that he managed to come back. And obviously, we wish him the best with whatever he decides to do. We don't know what he's.
Yeah, he
decided
said he's
to do
leaving
yet.
Williams, but that's clearly he's retiring.
Williams are
from
like,
Formula
please
One.
leave. We don't want to sack you. Just say you're leaving.
Yeah, because I genuinely feel like that might be the thing where they've gone. It's not working out, but if they fire him, it's almost like even
Worse.
a worse fairy
Yeah.
tale of him coming back. It's a shame he didn't come back for like a race or something, and it had been this like real feel good story. But
No, you're always
for
going
a
to aim
whole
for a season, though, aren't you?
Yeah,
And so likelihood is that Latifi will be partnering Russell.
yeah, I can
So
see that
very
happening.
young,
Very
very
young.
young team.
Could be fiery as well if Williams start to get good. Latifi versus Russell.
Yeah.
Very young pairing. But yeah, we'll see. So Kubica, we're going to give C. He put up a fight.
Yeah, he fought some
Okay.
midfield
He fought
cars.
people. Predictions for Singapore. Now, I did two predictions that were very safe in my eyes, and they were both completely wrong. Verstappen on pole, nowhere near, and Ferrari beaten by both Mercedes and Red Bull.
Ouch.
Jeez, I'm never
Yeah.
doing that ever again. That just shows
To be
me.
fair,
doesn't
a
it?
lot of people thought that was going to be the case,
Yeah.
including myself.
So don't go for safe predictions. Jess?
I said there'd be the top 3 teams on the podium.
Nope.
Incorrect. And there'll be multiple puns about the music acts playing. I mean, that was kind of
It
a...
wasn't really mentioned. I thought we'd at least
not
see
at all.
like the Chili Peppers on the pit wall or
Yeah.
something,
Nothing.
or a
The
like a
only
garage invite from
We saw Girlfriends.
Muse are playing there.
I
as
saw
well.
Ella Air, but she was playing Amber Lounge, not even on...
Amber Lounge.
Tommy?
Albon podium, that didn't happen.
No.
And George Russell will outqualify midfield car. He did outqualify Ricardo because
No.
he disqualified.
Yes, that does not count.
Half-
That is not
Doesn't
half a point.
count.
Out-qualify.
Half a point.
Out-qualify.
Yeah,
He didn't
and
out-qualify.
he didn't qualify.
That was a
at
post-
the end of
that was a
post-quality
post-classification.
penalty. Get in the bin. 0 points. Fans, though, you've done pretty well. Adam PW_F1. McLaren best of the rest. Yes.
Yes.
Danny_Co. Mercedes to throw a dummy pit stop at least once.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely did.
K Mangum 95. Williams will get a point with Russell.
No.
Nowhere near.
It was close.
Predictions for Russia. Now, I have gone for Russia will actually be exciting,
Bold.
which is
You've gone for the
basically
opposite
0
of
points.
last.
Yeah, I've gone for non-safe predictions, and Haas will make Q3. That's just one car, just to.
You okay, Han?
I might be drunk. No, I'm not. But yeah, Haas will make Q3, so we'll see. Jess,
Kvyat will torpedo someone into the Kvyat grandstand.
1 point. Next.
This is a bit of a weak one from me, but I've just said because it's Russia, it's going to get political.
So when you say it will get political, politics will be mentioned. Do you just mean showing Putin? Does
Yeah,
that
Putin
count?
up here.
I'm going to take it. Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake! So and then if Bernie is with him, what's your 2?
Mine is that Bernie will be at the race with Putin.
All right, so there could be a
So
two-pointer
buddies.
there.
2-pointer. Bottas will get pole because he loves the place. Don't necessarily think he'll win because Mercedes will be like, "You're driving too fast, please.
Yeah, could you just
Please
maintain
slow
it
down?"
and let
6
Lewis
I
through?
seconds.
don't
a
want
lot
you
slower.
to win the drivers' championship. You're the wrong driver.
Yeah.
But you're not a wingman. We just
Promise.
just
We want you to
don't
win.
Do you reckon
Man.
if he does get pole though and he does fly away, they'll just let him?
Oh yeah,
They'll let him
Yeah,
win.
yeah.
Yeah. Because if Hamilton's in second, if Hamilton's in the third, they'll give him the undercut, then Hamilton will win. Fans.
Anyway,
The fans have gone for Albon outqualifies Verstappen. That's Thiago
Bold.
tactics. That's wrong. Banana cake pies. There will be no safety car or VSC. Well, we can guarantee there's not going to be a VSC because apparently that's not what they do anymore. Not sure about SC. And Geraldo EH. Kvyat finishing in the points. That's a safe prediction. I mean, either that's going to happen or Jess, your torpedo will happen.
Well, no,
I
'cause-
don't think both will happen.
well, no, because
Kvyat survived this one. Actually, to be
Kvyat
fair.
survived torpedoing Raikkonen.
Did he get? He got a penalty for that, did he?
No. No, it was to be looked at after the race, and I don't think they've even.
and they just went home and went. Can't be
I mean,
asked.
can we just say, I wish nothing should be looked at post
the
race,
race, yeah.
apart from maybe technical stuff where they
Yeah.
need to do some more investigation on the car. Driving incidents should be decided
Yeah, there and then.
There and then. Like that's just stupid.
Yeah, how can you not decide?
Because then it's a
that
case
is
of,
a
we want to
penalty?
hear from the driver. No.
No,
Yeah.
he torpedoed
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Everyone can see that.
He survived. Kimmy didn't. That is a
Yeah.
penalty. But
Yeah,
apparently
I just
not.
imagine like
Didn't hit.
Kvyat going into like the stewarding and Kvyat's like, no, I didn't do that.
I didn't touch
That
him.
wasn't me. That
It
was
was lag."
Gasly. And he's like, oh, sorry. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, if it confuses the commentators enough, so
Yeah.
maybe that would work.
Yeah, why do
So there
they
you
need
go.
to listen to the drivers and
Right.
stuff like that? I don't know.
That's
But
it.
anyway,
We're done. We're
We're
done
done.
here. So thank you so much for listening / watching. Make sure to give us nothing less than 5 stars. Can't give us more because that's not possible, but 100% feedback. I was about to say forced feedback. That's a different video. But thank you so much for listening and watching. Thank you to Harry's as well for sponsoring this video. And make sure you go and shave yourself if you need to be shaved. Strange
getting
thing.
weird.
And it's harrys.com/WTF1. Supports the podcast. Make sure that we can do things like this, which I'm sure lots of you enjoy very much. We enjoy being here. Thank you to Tommy and Jess once again for being here. And we will see
You're
you
welcome.
in 1 week's time for race week, which is right now.
it's race week.
It's race week.
Hey.
Goodbye.